is going on, guys? So, this is the final decision. Alright, so if you can see from the title of the video, it is Duelnetwork versus Devpro, parentheses, Ygopro. They're like the same thing, but I prefer Devpro, some people prefer Ygopro. I'm not going to do the pros and cons of those two. I'm doing the pros and cons of Duelnetwork and Devpro. So, let's get at it. Don't mind my hair, I was stuck in the rain. Alright, so first off, both of them are dueling programs, obviously. Well, not programs necessarily. Duelnetwork's on a website. Devpro you have to download to your computer. So, right off, first off the bat, as far as I'm aware, Devpro is only available for Windows. It is not available for Mac or Linux. I could be wrong, I haven't looked it up, this is off the base of my head, so this fact could be completely wrong. But to what I'm aware of, Devpro is only available on Windows. So if you're a Linux user, which I feel like none of my viewers probably even use Linux or even know what that is, but if you do know what it is or use it, kudos to you. And that is a toss-up, because if you have a Mac and you're a Mac guy, of course you're not going to use it. And I'm pro both. Like, some people, not going to get into that argument on this video if you Mac or Windows guy, but I'm both. Like, I have a Windows computer because I built it, but if I had a little bit more money, I would have built a Hackintosh if I could have, but I would have just dual booted Windows and Mac, if you even don't know what that is, but basically it means I have both, but never mind. Anyways, with Duelnetwork, it's just an HTTP secured website, or is it secured? I think it is. But anyways, you can go on it on any device, whether it be Linux, Windows, or Mac. I think it even works on some Android tablet devices, like a bigger tablet, which Android is Linux, but you can use that on play Duelnetwork. So there's a pro right there. It's obtainable to everybody, and you can pretty much do it anywhere. Where Devpro, I mean, you can do it anywhere if you have internet connection, just like Duelnetwork, but you can't really have it on, like, if you go to your grandma's house and you don't really want to download a program on their computer, hypothetically, you can just go to a website and you can play, and all your decks are there. So it's pretty much, no matter where you go, you can have your decks and everything as long as you sign into your account, which is a big pro over Devpro, where all the decks and stuff saved to your computer and your skins. Even though there is an account, as far as I know, all the decks are saved onto your personal computer. While Duelnetwork, it's all in the cloud. So right there, we'll put Devpro Duelnetwork right here. We'll put Duelnetwork to have a point for over Devpro for right here. And this is Devpro and Ygopro. I'll just point over there. So, alright. Point for Duelnetwork. Now, the thing that gets me a lot too is this can be in different categories. So as I go along with and put a point, we'll just separate the categories as we go. So the big obvious one over Duelnetwork and Devpro is automation. So Duelnetwork is automated. You click on the card you want to play, it does it all, it does the rulings, it does everything for you. Sometimes it can glitch and the rulings aren't 100% correct, but for the most part, it's right. I'd say 90% of the time. Whilst Duelnetwork is not automated. Now, this can be more player preference on what you would like to test on, as some people might not like the automation of Devpro, while others might like the automation of Duelnetwork. I mean, with the non-automation, yeah. So, the pros about it to me, for my personal opinion, because I can't talk for everybody, is that I like the automation because it makes it so players can't cheat as much. Yeah, you can't. There is no cheating. So, sometimes there's rulings that I'm not aware of, or there's a certain thing that I'm not aware of, or how cards are played. Sometimes somebody could be janking me on how a new deck's played because I have no idea. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know how that new deck is played, or I don't know it fully or well enough, and people could completely lie to me. Even if I read the cards, sometimes they can make plays right or have rulings right, and they can gyp you on Duelnetwork. Now, yes, that is just being ignorant on my part, but that is a possibility. While as Devpro, if I'm trying to deck test, I'm trying to learn the game, the opponent can't dick me around. They can't say something's wrong, and they also can't fight me on rulings. The only thing that you can really fight on Duelnetwork and have servers called, where you can get kicked out, is being AFK. So that's pretty much it, and they already have a time set. AFK will be like, play in the next like 30 seconds, or the game's a win to somebody else. Yeah. So, before I get onto that part of the things, we'll go with the cheating. The automation is good for me, so I'm going to give it a point to Devpro over Duelnetwork for the automation, because there's cheaters and stuff like that, and in real life, you can call a judge, get here, and it's solved when you're in a tournament. But for this, fighting with people and calling a judge and whatever, I'm going to give to Devpro because it's all automated, it's already ready to go. Your clean cut, rulings, everything, it's there. So right now we're 1 for 1. Now, continuing with that conversation, what I was just talking about, is also with Devpro, there is no annoying player base. So along with the cheating, and even if this is automation or not, there's no decision facting. There's no fighting around with somebody. On Duelnetwork, you can have somebody be like, no, you can't do that, or let me take back my turns. That's another thing. There's no turn takebacks. Now this, like I said, this can be considered what we just talked about, but I still think it's a little separate. You can't fight with your opponent on Devpro, really. I mean, technically you can start saying shit, but in Duelnetwork, I've had so many times where people are just fucking around, and they just don't know what they're doing, and they just misplay cards, and they ask you if they can take it back, and it's just annoying. It's a process, and it's just a bunch of shit, okay? And I hate it so much. So that's why I started playing Devpro. So that's why I'm going to give Devpro another point, 2 points, because the whole it's more frustration-free. That's why we'll give it a point. Frustration-free over Duelnetwork. Now, this one's another topic. I've had a lot of people tell me when they have Windows how to get Devpro, even though I have a video on it. A lot of other people have videos on it. You just go to the website, you download it, you install it like any other programs like iTunes or whatever else. It just works. Actually, I don't even know if you install anymore. You might have to extract it. I haven't done it in a while. And you just open it from there. But either way, you download a file, you right-click, you extract it. But not everybody is even remotely somewhat computer savvy. So that is a pro to Duelnetwork. It's easy to use. You can sign in an account and you can go in from anywhere. And I already said the accessibility is a one thing, but this isn't necessarily accessibility like Windows or Mac. This one's more of a topic of an user-friendliness than accessibility. I think Duelnetwork is very user-friendly. They match you up with people. The deck building system's really quick. Devpro is a little more extravagant, not extravagant, but it's a little bit more learning curve to figure out how to host games quick. I mean, don't hear me out for people who use Devpro. It's not hard. I'm not saying I was stupid and I had a problem with it. It's just not as simple as Duelnetwork. Duelnetwork is a simpler interface. It's a little bit more cleaned up, and when it comes to interface-wise, I would give it to Duelnetwork. So right now we're 2 for 2. Duelnetwork has a very user-friendly interface and is accessible to a lot of other players. So we'll do 2 for 2 for that. Now this one isn't as a big flaw, because I've already talked about the 2 biggest things that are a really big deal, which is like cheating and stuff like that. But this one's more to customizability. Sometimes when I play, it's just like in real life. I want to have my own card sleeves. I want to have my own mat. I want to have the things that I want to have. So while you can get card sleeves on Duelnetwork, you have to work for it. You have to be high rated to get the cooler card sleeves, and pretty much all of them are Yu-Gi-Oh related and are pretty generic at that. So while Devpro, you can customize your field and everything how you want to look. Well, not necessarily, well, actually, yeah, you can customize how the field looks, you can customize the background image for that field, you can customize your card sleeves, you can customize the icons of that swirl for, like, if you have a special summon or if you want to attack, sound effects, everything. You can just fully customize Devpro, which is something cool to do. Now, yes, sound effects in real life you can't really do, but over Duelnetwork, that is another pro to me that brings me to Devpro, is the customizability. I can make it look how I want, making it look cool. I can do what I want when it comes to the imagery of when I duel, which you can't over Duelnetwork, which some would argue if that's a big deal, but for me personally it is, so I'm going to give Devpro for customization for the user. Now the last one, and this is actually going to be pretty, well, stupid, but player base. I have noticed that there are a lot more players on Duelnetwork than Devpro, because Devpro and Ygopro don't use the same servers, so for the people that don't use Duelnetwork or use it half the time, it's split in between Devpro and Ygopro, and this is where, I know they're different categories, but I'm just saying I was putting both of them on the same side. So that is the con to Devpro and Ygopro. They have a lower player base because Duelnetwork is one thing. There's not tons of them. There's one Duelnetwork. And there's a lot, and it's like I said, there's already ease of use and accessibility to it. So there's tons of players on it, whether you be on Linux, Windows, or Mac. While Devpro and Ygopro is Windows only, so that cuts the player base down. Also, then you have to cut Ygopro and Devpro in half because those are two separate player bases. Because some people prefer Ygopro and some people prefer Devpro. So when you already cut it down to Windows only and then put it on those two, and you have to split that, it's a very reduced player base, and sometimes, once in a while, you'll find the same duels with the same people. Not all the time, but sometimes you do. And it's usually the same people playing the same decks, and Duelnetwork's the same way when it comes to that too, but I don't know, sometimes I get more variety on Duelnetwork, sometimes I get more variety in Devpro, so that's just like chance. But player-based, you can get a consistent amount of tons of different games on Duelnetwork than you can on Devpro and Ygopro. So that I will have to give a point to Duelnetwork. Bing! So yeah, guys, as you can see, I think I could be wrong in the video, but for what I think I counted out in my head, because I did not write this down to prepare it by any means, as I think they're tied 3 for 3. So basically, this video was just telling you of what the pros and cons are, and letting you know to decide what you'd like to use better. For new people to Yu-Gi-Oh! Or even the veterans, but yeah, there's pros and cons to each. They're both pretty equal on the playing field. I just prefer one over the other because it's personal preference. Everybody has one. And I'm Windows user, so I can use it when I want. Once in a while, I do go on Duelnetwork for things, but it's just not my go-to. So, let me know down below what you guys prefer. Do you prefer Duelnetwork? Do you prefer Devpro? Or do you prefer Ygopro, which are pretty much the same thing, but they are a little different, and we're not going into those. So just tell me which one you prefer down below, and which one you think more people should start using, or vice versa. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Peace!